Hi, it's Jnwynn with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast. Today for Tunisian Tuesday, which is actually now Thursday, I am actually doing Yarnspiration's ribbed beanie. And this one, they show it done in Bernat Super Value stripes. What I am actually using is Platoon in Regiment, which is lots of brown, dark browns, and tans. I'm going to try this again. We'll see how this takes. First one didn't take too well. Basically with this, you're going to use two stitches, the Tunisian knit stitch, the purl stitch. You'll also be using yarning two together or together, and yarn overs and chains, those kind of things. But you're going to start for an adult hat. They tell you to start with 76 stitches. They have you using a size J or 10 Tunisian hook. I have done that, but, and I'm going to say with a but, this hat, when I put this end to this end to measure around my head, and I have a pretty large woman's head. At least I think I do, big head. It wound up being that it's a little loose. Now, granted, it is worked flat, and you will be seaming up the sides, but the way that it works is you will work it flat, and then you will work stitches to close it up in the top, and then you'll actually just sew the back seam. The two stitches are the knit stitch and the purl stitch. And you'll notice that I did not bring my thumb down. Upstairs, I mean. So I have continued to work on this. I went ahead and chained and started working on it downstairs. It's a little easier to do when you're not having to film around a camera or look through a camera lens to figure out where you're at. But here's the knit stitch. Normally, for a Tunisian simple stitch, you would just pick up that loop. But this, you are going to go between the front leg and the back leg and go directly through there to pick up the stitch. And that is the Tunisian knit stitch. For the purl, they tell you to bring the yarn down. You'll notice that I have a little bit of trouble with that, so I've always cheated and used my hook. Go into that stitch, then I bring my thumb down to hold it and yarn over. Now it's going to be a loose stitch, so I tighten it up a little bit and repeat that for the second stitch. And just like everything else, I'm shedding my hair. You may see my hair trapped in there. I don't mind sharing my hair with others. Since I have started doing tutorials, and it's not even really this, I'm not going to call this a tutorial. And basically, I haven't really done any tutorials, but what I'm going to say is my hat's off to those who do tutorials and have to work around the camera or look through the camera lens. I am using my phone to film. I do have a camera that has the screen, it's like a 3.5-inch screen that flips out, but it's really not designed for close work. So the phone works out better for filming. So that's what I'm using. I do know that other folks that do tutorials, normally they would use a phone that does have that flip out screen. And if you've ever priced cameras, those can be kind of expensive. It's on my wish list. Let's hope my husband's sugar daddy someday realizes that and will go with me to purchase a nice camera for filming. Because quite honestly, it's awkward doing it this way. Like I said, I do know other people that do film. They many times will have a husband or someone who will help them so that they can film and the other person can film directly over them. So they don't have to keep watching their hands either through the phone or the screen. And if you've ever tried to watch something that you're doing through another lens, it proves to be a very interesting thing. Anyway, now we've gotten close to the end, and I'll show you, because it is a normal ending since you've chained 76, and the very first row is a basic Tunisian simple stitch row to get it started. That means you're going to have to start in the second one from the stitch. So you'll actually have 75 stitches. 74 of those will be the ribbing stitch, which is 2 knit, followed by 2 purl, and then of course at the very end you're going to go through the last 2 like normal, pick up that stitch, and then you're going to go through 1 or chain 1, whichever you want to call it, and get some more yarn out here. The return pass is the same. Yarn over, pull through 2. As usual, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is, if you can get it in your hook. Like I said, trying to watch it through the TVs, through the phone screen or around the phone can prove to be a little challenging. And you know, the first filming that I did this afternoon, I did totally blind, didn't look at the screen. And of course my hand was way down here. You know, it kind of does make a little bit of difference when you're filming. And yes, this yarn is awful splitty. Like I said, the next time that I do this hat, if I'm going to do it for a woman, I will change over to either an H or an I hook. Because, you know, I crochet and I knit loose, and I know that. And I didn't think about doing gauge. And yeah, you can do a gauge swatch, but these are kind of manly colors, so unless you're Crystal of Bag O' Day, who likes the color brown, or someone who likes brown. So this will fit a man. I am almost positive it will. Seeing as the hat that is pictured in the pattern is modeled by women, I'm going to assume that that hook size gave them that hat. And let me get that gray hair out of the way. Still, I missed it. I must have crocheted it in. That's completely free. I offer my hair all the time. That is one of the reasons that I've always kept my hair short ever since my neck surgery. Was because, I don't know about you, but when I roll over it frustrates me to have hair trapped in my armpit, or when I'm eating for it to fall in my mouth. Excuse me. Okay, that's basically it. You're going to continue that for a total of 6.5 inches, or 16.5 centimeters. When it reaches that length, according to the pattern, that's when you start some decreases. I am not going to show you those decreases. I do not have permission to do a tutorial. I just thought I would show you what I'm doing today. Just, Snowmageddon. Got to find some stuff to do. All right, folks, I'll see you again soon. Remember, choose to be kind. I'm up in the sewing room, and I thought I would show you a little bit of what our Snowmageddon is. And I always like looking out the window because my neighbor's yard has all these lovely trees. And that's my view at this ironing station. All the clothes and all the schools in Lock Haven have closed. The university shut down, I believe it was about 11:30 this morning. So they're expecting even more nasty weather. And supposedly, depending on which weather station you look at, whether it's weather.com or AccuWeather, they're calling for anywhere from 2 to 8 inches of snow, topped by ice. So it should be interesting. All right, see you guys later. It's been about 45 minutes since I last filmed out this window. And as you can see, Snowmageddon is really falling down. The street is pretty much covered up. It's kind of hard to see. Can't see the tracks of the cars anymore. And of course, down here at the base of this tree, you can't see him, but there is a bunny that hunkers down there when it's cold and snowy and rainy. And he's hunkered down under the snow. Eventually he'll get up, shake the snow off, and make another little snow, what do you call this, snow tents? But he'll make another little groove in there and keep toasty. Squirrels are a little nutty, They don't like seeing the snow either. All right, folks. See you again. I'm going to show you this bit of the setup for filming. I do use some washi tape and try to mark off the area on my white. This is actually on top of my cutting board for doing quilts. But you can see I've got the tripod arm over here, and this tripod is really a lightweight tripod. It's not meant to hold phones and whatnot with the phone. This item here is something I devised when I was making something to build up a table for when I do free motion quilting on my sewing machine, because the machine that I have does not fit the cabinet to go down to where it's flush with the cabinet. So I took insulation foam, taped it together, and built it up to what I needed it to be so that it would be flush around the machine. This is the part that goes in front of the arm. I don't always use it, but I have some blocks that kind of build up around my machine. And I can't remember the woman's name that did this. She built it for herself, cheap materials. I want to say her first name is Sharon, and she lives in Alaska. I'll try to put that link down below so that you can see how she built it up. But this is what I'm doing today for my film setup, because I was too lazy to run down and get the other tripod. That is the light stand. This is a simple light that you get from Walmart for about $6, $7. You can put an LED bulb in it or CFL bulb, whichever you want. And then you can clamp it because it's a clamp light. And you find it over in the automotive department. And that's basically what I've been using for this cheap setup today, because I'm too lazy to go get the big tripod. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.